What's up, YouTube? This is Vicente Gonzalez, back with another Stardom Sit-em. I want to start by apologizing for missing my video last week. Just a multitude of things kind of piled on each other at school. I had a trip that I had to go on, and it just kind of all piled on and culminated in me missing the video. I was gonna try to do just my voice over the PowerPoint while I was on the trip, but I forgot my freaking keys because I didn't drive my car. And I didn't have the pics or anything, so I'm sorry about that. I'm not gonna let that happen again. So anyways, also we have a location change today because the normal room we do it in was locked when we went to go in there, and there was no one else to open it. So now we're doing it in an apartment. So lighting's really nice though, so I'm gonna say that's pretty freaking cool. But anyways, to the picks. This is week 6. At quarterback, I say start Matt Ryan, Carson Wentz, Tom Brady, Mitch Trubisky, and Cam Newton, and sit Jameis Winston, Alex Smith, Andrew Luck, Sam Darnold, and Russell Wilson. Carson Wentz isn't really missing a beat since he's come back, and the New York Giants defense is not very good, so I like that pick this week. And Mitch Trubisky, Windows is optimizing my PC, by the way. Anyways, Mitch Trubisky, he did really good last week. Or not last week, because I think he was on a bye this last week. But the week before, he had a monster week, and now some people might think that's a fluke. I think he's going to be a product of that offense now. He's going to be a passer, and I'm really excited about that. So I think Mitch is pretty cool. I don't like Andrew Luck this week against the New York Jets. Now, I think the New York Jets are a top 5 defense, despite the fact that they get moved on a lot, but they put up a lot of turnovers. Andrew Luck can be kind of turnover prone, so I like that matchup this week. And Jameis Winston, he's kind of a flyer this week. I almost feel like he would do good this week. I think he may do pretty good, but you don't know. Atlanta's not a very good defense, but he may have some hiccups coming back from suspension, so I don't trust him this week. At running back, I say start James White, TJ Yeldon, Joe Mixon, Anaheim Hines, Tariq Cohen, and Isaiah Crowell, and sit Adrian Peterson, LaShawn McCoy, Carlos Hyde, Philip Lindsay / Royce Freeman, and Jordan Howard. James White, Tom Brady specifically said last week, I need more James White. And guess what? We got a lot more James White. He's the focal point of that offense, and I like it a lot. I like him this week. That may change just a little bit because Josh Gordon's emerging, but I still see James White as just an important piece. He's the running back to have there. Sonny Michel ain't too bad either, but James White's the one. And Anaheim Hines, I feel like the Jets are going to kind of put it on Indianapolis a little bit. And Anaheim Hines, I noticed last week, had a lot of passes. He had a lot of passes, and I think that's going to be the game that they play this week. Is Anaheim Hines is going to be getting a bunch of dump offs, a bunch of little short passes from Andrew Luck. I think he's going to have a really good week this week. And Tariq Cohen, he's the running back to have in Chicago. They don't do well with, who's the other freaking guy? See, I don't remember his name anymore. Jordan Howard, see, he's right here. Jordan Howard, they're not using him well. He's a power runner, and that offense doesn't seem to be suited for that at the moment. Tariq Cohen, he catches passes in the backfield. He's quick, he's shifty, and that's how that offense rolls. So Tariq Cohen's the guy. I say Adrian Peterson this week because I think Carolina, they got that guy back, Thomas Davis, that linebacker. He's been suspended for a couple of games. He's back, and I think that defense is going to give them fits. And Adrian Peterson was hurt last week too. He dislocated his shoulder. I think he's going to struggle this week. And also Carlos Hyde. I don't think the game plan's the game flow is gonna fit his role as that runner. LA Chargers are gonna jump on it quick, and then they're gonna kind of abandon the run. So I think that's what's gonna happen. Wide receiver, I say start Keenan Allen, Emmanuel Sanders, Pittsburgh wide receivers Mike Evans and Kiki Cutie, and sit Robbie Anderson, Jamison Crowder, Keelan Cole, Will Fuller, and Amari Cooper. I want to start with Amari Cooper right now because that guy is funny as heck. His first week, I think he had 2 fantasy points. Then the next week he had I don't know, 16. Then he had again 1, and then he had 30, and then he had another 1 point game last week. He's the definition of just inconsistency. I don't like that at all. I put him as the number 5 for them because he may blow up for all I know. But I don't trust inconsistency like that. Anyway, so moving on. Keenan Allen has kind of had a iffy start. I think he's had 1 good game this year, and the rest have been above average, but not what you would expect to spend a first, second round pick on. But I think he's going to be really good this week against Cleveland. start him. And Emmanuel Sanders. So I like Emmanuel Sanders this week because the LA Rams are going to pile it on Denver. Denver is not a very good team this year, but Emmanuel Sanders is Case Keenum's favorite target, I think, and they're going to need to throw a lot this game. Oh, and Kiki QT, he's one of my favorite picks. He kind of just came off of, he didn't play the first couple games, and then he came back and he's like one of Deshaun Watson's favorite targets. Even last game you saw it, he got targets. I like that. Robbie Anderson, he's my number one sit. He, after like 3 weeks of nothing, he exploded for 2 touchdowns, a lot of yards, but if you look at his targets, I think he gets like 3 targets a game, if that, maybe 2. And you know, he made the most of his targets last week, but who's to say he's going to make the most of them this upcoming week? I don't like it. I don't trust that. If he's maybe a little more consistent, maybe he finally connected with Sam Darnold. I don't know. But I'm not going to risk that. Tight ends, I say start Eric Ebron, Jimmy Graham, Trey Burton, Jared Cook, and I put Eric Ebron twice. And sit Jesse James, O.J. Howard, Geoff Swaim, Ricky Seals-Jones, and Austin Hooper. Now, Eric Ebron, the top Eric Ebron, I have him as my number one start. You can ignore the bottom one. I don't know why I did that. But Eric Ebron makes he gets a lot of targets from Andrew Luck. I'm sorry. Last week he actually got a lot of his points in garbage time, but still he gets the looks. He gets open, and I think he's that number one tight end. He's the number one tight end. He's a tight end one. And Jimmy Graham. So Geronimo Allison and Randall Cobb are hurt and banged up, and I think Jimmy Graham and Devontae Adams, they're the top 2 there. I think that Jimmy Graham's going to get a lot of looks this week too against San Francisco, so I like Jimmy Graham this week. And Jared Cook, he had a dud game last week, but don't expect that to be a trend. He's a tight end one for sure. In Oakland, he's Derek Carr's favorite target. It just didn't hook up last week. This week, I believe it will. I say sit O.J. Howard because O.J. Howard was hitting pretty good with Fitzpatrick. But I don't know how that's going to translate with Jameis Winston. Last year, it didn't do so well. It kind of did a little better at the end, but I don't know how it's going to work out this week, so I don't like that. And Geoff Swaim, he's becoming a pretty good guy over there in Dallas, but against Jacksonville, I wouldn't start that this week. Oh, and Austin Hooper, he's hit or miss in the Falcons game. Defenses, I say start Chicago Bears, Jacksonville Jaguars, Houston Texans, LA Rams, New York Jets, and Carolina Panthers. And sit Denver Broncos, San Francisco 49ers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Miami Dolphins, and the New England Patriots. The Chicago Bears are a must-start defense every week. They're back. They have Khalil Mack, and they're going against Miami, who is struggling. So I like that matchup there. Jacksonville's going to take advantage of the one-dimensional Dallas Cowboy offense, and the Jets are going to do pretty well against Indy. I say sit the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because Atlanta is led really well by Matt Ryan. That offense is really good. Last week it didn't do so hot, but Tampa Bay they're just not a very good defense, so I don't like that at all. The Miami Dolphins, now, they were a pretty good defense to start. Now they're sputtering as of late, and they're going against Chicago that had like a lot of points 2 weeks ago, so that's not a good matchup. And the New England Patriots are going against Kansas City, and Kansas City and New England are both like really good offenses, so those defenses aren't worth starting at all. So anyways, that's all I have for today. Thank you for sticking with me. Good luck this week, and have a nice rest of your week.